Pornography is something beautiful. Adults having sex and being filmed about their sexual being. That is pornography to me. That's a $40 billion industry.
Adult entertainment is a legal product in the United States. It has always been legal. It is protected under the First Amendment. It has always been protected under the First Amendment.
The whole concept of that being an art, and that's bullshit.
The rest of the world doesn't give a darn what Senator or Congressman so-and-so says. They're going to do what they want to do. And the thirst for American porn is always going to be there.
All these high arousal images subvert, in fact, the purpose of the First Amendment as it relates to free speech. It's not speech, it's stimuli.
I defend this industry because what begins here in terms of censorship will eventually fester into other forms of censorship in film, music, art, or books.
We don't live in a black and white world. Everything is a gray issue. I disagree with most announcements and verdicts and policies that the FCC comes out with.
There's a lot of things you say can be called freedom of speech, but that's where the problem comes in. If you want to see porn, you go to a movie or you get yourself a CD and watch porn. You know, but I think it's not right to be on the internet.
Well, I'm very open about it, of course. I can afford to be. This is my job.
Sure.
But for people in other parts of the country, it's not so easy for them to be open about their sexuality as they admire me for being.
And a child decodes images instantaneously. They don't need the capacity for speech, nor does an illiterate individual need the capacity for speech to understand images. They process instantaneously.
What's happening right now is the radical religious right is using government to try to enforce their religious values about sex on the average American.
I don't think that the government realizes how big of an effect that it has on children.
People expect the public environment to be safe for children. And I'm sorry, but the public environment has never been safe for children.
I mean, they try to put up safeguards, but usually if you're a minor and you just click yes to the saying that you're over 21 or over 18, that's all there is to it. The only thing after that is that, a parent can't sue because, you voluntarily lied and said that you were of age.
I distinguish among the types of pornography. To take garden variety off, I think would impinge on free speech. To take off the horrendous stuff that encourages people to brutality and cruelty, I don't see that as a free speech infringement.
Censorship is a tool that can be used only to stop speech, only to stop communication, only to stop the spread of ideas. And it has no discrimination whether those ideas are good or bad.
The solution that I wanted to be part of, that I wanted to create, had to preserve free speech. For this reason alone, it wasn't the fight that I wanted to fight.
I don't believe one that takes away somebody's freedom of choice will be successful. And everyone needs to be able to manage themselves through that process. But children who don't have the faculties and abilities to reason and manage through that process are so, again, vulnerable to it. That's who I hope to protect. Those who want to consume it, I wish, like a cigarette label, hey, pornography is harmful to your health. It will destroy your marriage, your family, your life. But you know what? You're an adult, knock yourself out.
Well, this is a very tough debate. This is an extremely personal debate. It's emotional. How do you allow adults to see adult content and protect children from seeing the same content until they're adults without violating someone's right to speak and produce the stuff?
You come home from work, your child's on the computer, they don't hear you come in, you walk into their room, and they're watching a porno online. Freedom of speech is going to be thrown out the window. You're not going to be concerned no more with what you can say and what you can't say. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to matter anymore. See, when it hurts the right people, there'll be a change.
I think there's a misconception about pornography, that it's all right, or that maybe it's like that it's an art form, or there's freedom of speech.
I don't see how pornography can be a freedom of speech when it's forced upon people. I think that's pornography itself on the internet is violating people's rights of not wanting to look at it. It just keeps popping up and you can't help it.